Welcome everybody to this episode of Ranjit Coaching. A look in the mirror. How to harness the transformative power of introspection and shadow work to propel us towards positive personal growth and emotional intelligence. Thank you for joining me. Before I get started, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the link in the description box below for my website. On my website, I've got resources for life coaching, personal training, yoga, martial arts, narcissistic abuse recovery, and more. Let's get started. Introspection. What is it? Well, introspection is the conscious examination of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. This process involves deep reflection in order to gain self-awareness and a journey inward to understand the underlying motivations behind our behavior. Now that I've covered what introspection is, let's talk about how to do it. Step 1, mindful observation. Begin by observing your thoughts without judgment. What recurring patterns or emotions do you notice? Step 2, journaling. Document your reflections. Writing can help articulate and clarify your thoughts, fostering a deeper connection to your inner self. Step 3, questioning assumptions. Challenge your beliefs and assumptions. Ask yourself why you feel and think a certain way, uncovering hidden emotions. 4, meditation. Practice mindfulness to quiet the mind and enhance focus, allowing for a clearer perception of your inner landscape. So that's introspection. What is shadow work? Shadow work delves into the unconscious aspect of the psyche, addressing suppressed or ignored emotions, desires, and traits. It's inspired by Carl Jung's concept of the shadow, the parts of ourselves that we deny or disown. Now that you know what shadow work is, let's talk about how to do it. Step 1, identifying shadows. Acknowledge aspects of yourself that you may be avoiding or denying. These could be fears, insecurities, or unacknowledged desires. Step 2, embracing shadows. Confront and accept these suppressed elements. Embracing the shadow leads to greater self-integration and a more holistic self-understanding. While not necessarily a step, therapeutic support can be helpful. Consider seeking professional guidance if shadow work becomes emotionally challenging. A therapist can provide a safe space for exploration. By combining introspection and shadow work, individuals create a foundation for positive growth. Increased self-awareness. Introspection uncovers thought patterns, while shadow work reveals hidden aspects. Put them together and they cultivate a deep understanding of oneself. Empowerment. Embracing the shadow empowers individuals to integrate and harness all aspects of their personality. Improved relationships. Understanding oneself enhances empathy, thus allowing people to have healthier connections. Resilience. Introspection and shadow work build emotional intelligence and resilience, allowing individuals to navigate life's challenges with greater adaptability. I want to talk a little bit about my personal journey with introspection. So I didn't really do a lot of it until after narcissistic abuse. So after that experience, I took on a lot of projections and negativity, and I absorbed all of the things that were being thrown at me. And I couldn't figure out why I was doing all this work inside myself to try to figure out what was going on. This individual projected all of their negativity, all their negative traits, and blame shifted and gaslit and threw it all at me. So while I was doing my work, I was also doing their work. Well, when I was doing that, it allowed me to see into myself and notice aspects of my personality, notice aspects of my past, behavior patterns, things that I was doing, emotions that I needed to change in order to grow away from it, in order to learn. So throughout my whole life, I've been able to put myself in other people's shoes. So what I like to do is I like to introspect from 3 perspectives. The first perspective is internally. I will look inside and then recall and replay a scenario in my head in the first person. This gives me the first person view of what I did. The second is a third person view, or outside looking in. This would be somebody that's completely not involved in whatever experience or situation or interaction is happening. Rather, they would just be an observer. I put myself in their shoes and watch my body language, the person I'm interacting, their body language, tone of voice. I'm listening, I'm watching, I'm feeling, I'm looking around the environment, and I'm looking at everybody else that's in it. The third perspective that I like to do this in is I actually like to get into the other person's perspective. So if I'm interacting with somebody, I will be in their shoes and watch me, myself. Kind of like you're looking in the mirror. Exactly like you're looking in the mirror. This gives me an insight as to what they're feeling and what they're experiencing if I was talking to myself. So in that aspect, I learn a lot about that interaction. Through this, I take this information and I parse through it and I separate out ego and bias. By separating those things out of the equation and viewing it from these 3 viewpoints, it allows me to see the truth, uncover hidden motivations, look for emotions, and feel the environment in the interaction. My experience with shadow work is taking those negative aspects of myself, identifying them, embracing them, realizing that they are part of me as a whole. I can work on them to try to improve them so they're not as negative, but I can also recognize that they are part of me. A lot of times it's hard to recognize the negative aspects of. During the same time I was introspecting, I was also absorbing all those negative projections, and I was able to internalize them and then turn that into positive change through shadow work. Actively doing shadow work and introspection can be daunting, especially if you're doing them both at the same time. And especially if you're forced into a position where that is the only safe place where you could be. I still encourage people to try it. Remember, no matter where you are on your journey, progress is progress, even if it's just a little bit. Positive growth is a journey into self-discovery. It is a look into the mirror using introspection and shadow work. By doing these things, you will drive positive growth, abundance, happiness, joy into your life. You will be experiencing things as authentically as you can. Thank you for taking the time to check out this video. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the link in the description box below to check out my website. And I will see you in the next one.